arranged to meet a doll inhabited by ghosts and goblins, which moves at night when you are asleep, and wanders by itself in the apartment here and there, having fun and laughing unsupervised while you are sleeping or at work, and it may harm those who visit you if they do not like it, from among your friends and relatives, if they feel hatred and anger towards it, because it is you feel them and you will not have mercy on them. Yes, do not be surprised. She feels and feels those who hate her and want evil with her. She can harm you easily, but she will not, unless you challenge her and ask her directly. At that time, she will harm you without hesitation. Today I present to you the story of the real Annabelle doll, the most famous haunted doll in the world, and turned into many films and cinematic works until it made everyone fear dolls. It is the doll Annabelle, and horror has many faces. Mrs. Mary entered a store selling old things on that day in the year 1970, looking for a beautiful and special gift for her daughter Donna. Donna was a beautiful and cheerful girl studying nursing, and here Mary saw her calling her beautiful and attractive on one of the shelves of the store, a very beautiful doll. Although it was old and used, Mary did not hesitate a second. She quickly bought it and presented it to Donna for her birthday. The girl was very happy with the doll, and she took it with her to her own apartment, and Donna was living with her colleague Angie in a small apartment. Donna placed the doll happily next to her bed. The girl noticed that the doll was moving at night on its own. The head, for example, or the hand or the foot. The girl did not care much about it and thought it was an illusion. The matter got worse with the passage of time and developed, so Donna would go out and leave the doll sitting in its place next to the bed, so she would come back at night to find it on the bed, or on the floor. She would ask her friend Angie, would she is the one who moves the doll. But Angie was completely denying that, as the matter got worse and did not stop there. After a period of time the doll was walking alone, so Donna would return to the apartment to find the doll in another room, so she would leave her in her room in the morning, then return in the evening and find her in another room or above Angie's bed in the next room. The strange thing is that small paper clips appeared in separate parts of the apartment, with one word written on them, "Save us." Written in the handwriting of a small child on strange paper that the two girls were not using in the first place. And on that day Donna returned, exhausted from the outside, and found the doll lying on the bed and on her hand a small spot of blood, and the blood was from the body of the doll itself. It was shedding fresh red blood. The girls took trembling in terror and panic. The two girls decided that they must seek help. They called a spiritual medium who understood these matters and asked for her help. The spiritual medium listened to the story of the two girls, and told them that a session must be held to prepare the spirits, to find out who lives in the doll and what he wants from them. And the mediator said that the soul of the child is lonely and lacks love and tenderness, and she became attached to Donna and Angie and loved them, and she wanted to stay with them, and the girls agreed to keep the soul with them in the apartment. And the two girls had a friend named Lou, who hated the doll since he saw her and was not comfortable with her, and advised the two girls to get rid of them, but they did not care what he said. And one day, the friend Lou came, and he spent the night with the two girls sleeping on the lounge sofa, and late in the evening Lou suddenly woke up. In the darkness and silence, the young man felt that someone was close to him. He tried to see from there, but he could not move his body, as if he was paralyzed. He tried to scream, but the screams refused to come out of his mouth. He tried to turn around to see anything, but he could not see anyone. Here he looked down, and the fatal surprise was, and his heart almost stopped completely. The doll Annabelle was sitting at his feet and looking at him with hatred and hatred. Kabir, then she started crawling over his body until she reached his neck, and started strangling him until he passed out from the severity of his fright. And in the morning, he told the two girls what had happened. When the two girls believed him, he said that he felt that the doll hated him because he had asked them to get rid of it from Donna's room, and it was empty. Donna had left since the morning, so he got up to check the room and the room was empty. He felt that someone was standing behind him, so he turned his face quickly. There was no one except for the doll Annabelle, who was sitting on the table. So he went back to check the windows, and he had the feeling again that he was being watched. But before he turned around this time, he felt a hidden hand holding him from behind and dropping him to the ground forcefully. He screamed in panic, so Angie rushed to the room, and here I watched. If he was lying on the floor, there was no one else in the room but him. On his shirt there was a stain of blood. He got up from the ground and took off his shirt. There were 7 deep wounds on his chest, as if they were scratched nails. It was very painful and burning. The strange thing is that these wounds disappeared within a few hours. After what happened with Lou, the girls began to doubt the words of the psychic, and she no longer believed that the soul of an innocent child could do such evil things. So she went to the church and explained to Father Hogan her case in detail. So the priest shared her doubts and contacted a higher-ranking clergyman, Father Cook, who called his friend Ed Warren, knowing about these matters, and asked him to investigate the case. Several days later, the Warren couple visited Donna and Angie's apartment and listened to their story, and they knew the truth. The doll was not inhabited by the spirit of a little girl, as the mediator said, but there is a demon inhabiting it, a genie of demons that controls the doll and inhabits it as a means to reach its goal, and its goal was a human body that possesses it. And the genie of the doll became strong and very close to his goal, which is the body of any girl of them. The couple performed a ritual to expel the demons from the doll, with the help of Father Cook, after which they took the doll to their home, so the girls no longer felt comfortable with the doll in the house, and the couple was building a museum of strange and haunted things in the basement of the house. During her return to the house, very terrifying things happened, and the car broke down and almost collided in the trees, and a lot of terrifying and supernatural things happened. The doll began to move again, so they used to put it in the office room to find it above the bed in the bedroom, and the doll became more violent. One day, a young priest visited the couple and told him the story of the doll, so the priest shouted at the doll, saying, "You cannot harm anyone," and then he threw the doll in great anger on the ground, and here Ed looked at him with concern and fear, saying, "You should not have done this, priest." And after several hours the couple received a phone call, telling them that the priest had a very serious accident and almost died after leaving the house, as his car brakes failed once, and he hit a tree on the side of the road, but he survived death very miraculously. On another day, and another strange incident of its kind, a young man came with his girlfriend at night to see the couple's museum in the basement, so Ed accompanied them and told them the story of the doll Annabelle. So the young man started laughing and mocking the doll, saying, "Can you really hurt people? I dare you to hurt me, you ugly one." And here Ed looked at the young man with great annoyance and fear, and asked him to leave now and not come back again, so he should not have said such words. And days after that incident, the couple, Ed, learned that the young man had suffered a terrible accident immediately after leaving the museum. His bike crashed into a tree on the way, so he died instantly, and the girl miraculously survived. After that strange incident, the couple decided to prevent the doll from harming more people and humans, so the couple put it inside a custom glass box and fortified with many religious talismans and amulets, so that it could not harm anyone. It is still on display in their museum to this day in the basement of the house, but the strange thing is why the devil still lives in that scary doll until today. Why did he not live in anyone's body, and why did he remain attached to it even though it was inanimate? and he had the opportunity to seize the body of any person and live inside it as a container. So to today, the story of the doll Annabelle will remain confusing to everyone, and no one knows the reason despite the many films that tell the story, but we wonder about the real reason for the genie sticking to that doll.